Spaceflight Connections. Today's episode, Apollo 6. Welcome to Spaceflight Connections, where we explore the missions that shaped our journey beyond Earth. I'm Johnathan Brackett, your host and NASA JPL Solar System Ambassador. Today, we're taking a deep dive into Apollo 6, a mission that doesn't always get the spotlight, but without it, we might never have reached the moon. It's April 4th, 1968. A Saturn V rocket, the same powerful machine that would one day carry astronauts to the moon, thunders to life at Kennedy Space Center. But unlike Apollo 11, this flight has no crew. Apollo 6 is an uncrewed mission, meant to test the rocket's ability to send a spacecraft on a lunar trajectory. This was the last of 2 test flights before humans would fly on Apollo 7, and NASA wanted everything to go smoothly. But spaceflight is never that simple. Just minutes after liftoff, vibrations, called pogo oscillations, rattled the rocket so intensely that they risked damaging the structure. Then, 2 of the Saturn V's second stage engines shut down early, forcing the third stage to work harder to get Apollo 6 into orbit. And to top it off, the final engine burn, meant to simulate a journey to the moon, failed completely. With all of these problems, the mission could have been a disaster, but NASA engineers worked quickly, adjusting the flight plan to bring the spacecraft back to Earth. Despite the setbacks, Apollo 6 re-entered the atmosphere and splashed down in the Pacific, proving that the heat shield and other systems could protect future crews. So was Apollo 6 a failure? Far from it. Every issue it exposed led to improvements. NASA fixed the pogo oscillations, reinforced engine systems, and refined launch operations, so that less than a year later, Apollo 8 successfully carried astronauts around the moon. And here's a fun fact. If you want to see a piece of Apollo history for yourself, the Apollo 6 command module is on display at the Fernbank Science Center in Atlanta, Georgia. It's one of the few flown Apollo spacecraft you can see up close, a reminder of the challenges and triumphs that paved the way for the moon landings. That's it for today's episode of Spaceflight Connections. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and join me next time as we uncover more stories from space history. Until then, from my crew to yours, thank you.